Hello, hello. Hey y'all, happy Friday. It is Friday. Happy Friday, y'all, TGIF. I hope y'all are having a good Friday so far. Hello. Hello. I'm kind of sleepy, so today's stream is probably going to be low energy. Also, I had a shit. I was gonna take a shit, but that got interrupted by something right before stream, so now I am full of shit. Literally and figuratively. Oh. It's alright. I can hold it. Today's stream isn't gonna be that long. I just wanted to stream a little last window with y'all. Yeah, my shite was interrupted because I was taking a fucking shit. I don't know what's been up with my bowels lately. It hasn't been the best the past few days, and while I was getting ready for another one, Draken usually watches movies with one of her friends every Friday, and the person came that they were like ringing the doorbell, and I thought that the two other roommates in my house would go get it while, you know, I'm taking a shit. They didn't, even after 2 rings, and I'm like, oh god, okay, I gotta let them in, I gotta be nice, I gotta be responsible, let them in. And then I didn't get to take a shit. So, fuck them. Not the person who was ringing the doorbell, but me looking at their room light on. I don't know what they're doing. Yeah, bro, when your shit is interrupted. Also, thank you for the quote, Opalite. Thank you for the quote. But yeah, so, you know what can make that all better? You know what can make that better? Some Kyle Hyde. Some Last Window. Hotel Dusk Last Window. Guess who's getting a shit on their bed? Yeah. I'm not gonna shit on their bed. It's not that bad. It's like more like I could take a shit, not like I need to take a shit right now, or I'm gonna shit myself. But yeah. But let's see. Why couldn't you shit before stream? Because it was like a very sudden urge. I couldn't really, it was a very sudden urge 5 minutes before I started. And so I was like, okay, let's go to the bathroom to see if like I can just, you know, do it really quick before stream starts. And then I had to open the door for the person, and like 3 minutes later, it's 2 minutes before stream and I can't do it anymore. So, and I didn't want to postpone the stream. It's just not worth it to like postpone it and then 10 minutes later I'm back. So yeah, not really worth it. But let's just get started. You know, yeah, gotta love it when like your body just decides to have the best timing ever. Just the best timing. Let's see, load. Let's like try to play what we can. I don't know how long the stream today is gonna be. Because honestly, I feel like I should have taken a longer break. Yeah, your body consistently has the worst timing. Yeah, timing is a bitch. But I feel like I should have taken a longer break, but I didn't want to like come back to streaming and then immediately have my celebration stream that Saturday. So maybe after my celebration stream, I'll take another week-long break, because it's just been rough, man. Like, mentally. For no reason. Scheduling is hard, especially when I have a bunch of other stuff I need to line up. Like, on a happier note, me and Draken's anniversary is tomorrow. Our 7-year anniversary. Our 7-year anniversary. It's been 7 years. Thank you for the head pat. So that's why I can't stream tomorrow, because we're doing like an all-day thing. We're gonna go get coffee, we're gonna play mini golf, we're gonna get dinner, and then watch a movie at home, hopefully. Thank you, and thank you for the head pat. Yeah, I'm very happy. Very happy. 7 years so long, congrats. Yeah, it feels like it really has been a long time, but also like it doesn't feel that long. But it's also like crazy to think that some people get married on like 2 months after starting dating. Like my mom and dad, they got married after 2 months of dating. That it didn't turn out well, obviously, but like, damn, people really just think that's a good idea. No shame to my mom. Well, maybe a little bit of shame, maybe. Like, Mom, don't do that. Thank you for the head pat. But yeah, and then also like everyone's paths in life are different. But like it's just a weird feeling to see people my age like having kids that are like toddlers, that are like going to kindergarten or something. But like me and Draken probably aren't gonna, well, we aren't planning on having kids. And we kind of want to get like our gender documents in order before even considering marriage. Also like transitioning and stuff. We kind of want to let that ride out first. Diz and I got married 7 years ago or thereabouts. The second was our wedding anniversary. Oh, this month? This month? 2nd of September? Happy belated anniversary, y'all. Got married 7 years ago. How long have y'all been together? Like, just like, in general. Even before y'all got married. Damn, we have our anniversaries in the same month. Yay, congrats. Well, over 10 years, holy shit. Damn. That's a long time. You know, that makes me think, when I first met my roommates, so the 2 roommates that live on the same floor as me, they were together for 10 years, like 2 years after I met them. And that was back in college. So I wonder, I forget, how long are they together now? Probably like 15 years or something? That's so weird. They got together in middle school. That really is an anomaly. But then again, they also have an open relationship too, and they had a little bit of a break for a bit. Couple goals out there. It's not perfect, but you know, it works for them. Okay, so in the game, what are we doing? Okay, so we had it's the day after Christmas. We had a drink with Sydney the night before. We come down to the cafe the day after. Sydney's like, something's up with my kid. Can you go talk to Claire for me? She's not saying anything. Because she like went out with her friends for Christmas night partying or something. Claire, I'm sorry, but I'm busy with the cleaning at the moment. Oh dear. Claire. Are you still worried about your dad? Yes, I am. You remember what we talked about the day before Christmas Eve? Did you get around to asking him about it? Did you find out if there's someone special in his life? I never got round to asking him outright, but I kind of got an impression from the way he was acting. So what you're trying to tell me is that you didn't ask, right? I'm not interested in maybes. I need to know for sure. Claire. After all, this could be the last chance. Wait, what does this mean? What does that mean? I knew it. I just knew it. I had a feeling all along that he wouldn't keep his promise. Huh? What is this family stuff? The last chance for what, Claire? The last chance for him and Mom to get back together. Oh yeah, so okay, I forgot that her mom isn't dead. They're just divorced. If Dad doesn't step in and do something right away, it'll be too late. Mom's going to move to Boston. That's what I mean when I say this is his last chance. So you're holding out hope for your folks to give it a second try, is that it? That's right. I want them to get back together more than anything. I've been wishing for it for ages now. I see. Oh, she was with her mom last night. That's where I was last night, Mr. Hyde, with Mom. That's when she told me about her plans to leave for Boston. I asked her straight if she'd give Dad a second chance and try to start over. But this is how she responded. She said that she still loved him, even now, but that she couldn't return to Lucky's Cafe. Sure, it has good memories for her, but it also has some bad ones too. She was scared that returning here would bring the bad ones back, and she couldn't stand it. I get that. It's like you want to do something, but there's just bad memories associated with it. What kind of bad memories? Memories about Dad's loans. She told me all about it. After they fell out, business started to decline at the cafe. Mom hated the idea of borrowing money off a certain person, but Dad did it anyway. That's what eventually led to them breaking up. Oh, so it's money problems. Okay, what promise was that? It was one Dad made after Mom left. What did he promise? He promised something on the first Christmas without Mom. It was a sad Christmas for me. Dad was busy at the cafe and I was all alone. I waited up until he'd finished work and returned home. He was a little drunk when he got there though. Still, when he saw me, he pulled me into a hug and said that we would find happiness, just the two of us. He promised that we'd be happier than we'd ever been before. Happier than you'd ever been, huh? He forced himself into a smile at the time, but I knew the truth. I could see past his smile into the tears that fell from his eyes. I knew that Mom leaving was the hardest thing he'd ever had to deal with in his life. That's why I promised him something too that night. I promised that I'd also look for a way for us to be happy. And that's why you started to think of them getting back together, right? Right, that's all I've thought about since. But I don't know what Dad's thinking anymore. That is a tough situation. Who was the person he borrowed from? It was Mrs. Patrice. Mags? That's what I heard. He got the money he needed from her. Mom's never been able to forgive him for that. And you knew about this? No, I had no idea. I never heard about it until last night. This is the last thing Mom told me last night. She said Dad still hadn't repaid all the money he borrowed. Who was I trying to kid? Dreaming that Mom and Dad would get back together and we'd all live happily ever after? I certainly let my imagination get the better of me, didn't I? I should have known it was never going to happen. No, don't give up hope! But also, how much money does he owe? Oh, Claire, don't cry! Aww. We talk about couple goals and, like, people staying together for, like, a decade or more. And then now we're talking about, like, divorce, a divorced mom and dad and stuff. Yeah. I was stupid to even think it could. Claire, as we get older, we learn to become more accepting of each other's shortcomings. I'm sure your folks are no different either. So if they really still love each other enough to put that whole ordeal in the past, who's to say that your dream won't come true after all? My dream? It's all down to how much affection they still have for each other. I'll tell you what your dad told me last night. I'll tell you just how much your dad still loves your mom. Mr. Hyde. Oh, when she puts her hands together like that. Also, her hands look kind of tiny. Don't they? They look a little bit tiny. But I guess when your fingers are all collapsed on each other, that's just how it be. But she looks like a lot younger. Once she does that, she looks kind of like a kid. Like a kid wishing that her parents would get back together. You take everything too much to heart, Claire. Yeah, tiny babby hands. But sooner or later, both of them are going to sit up and notice how you're feeling. When that happens, they'll finally be able to answer each other's questions. That's why the best thing you can do is keep that smile on your face and stop sighing. You're right, Mr. Hyde. I need to look on the bright side. I'm still curious, though. Yeah, we need to ask Sydney some questions. Oh, she looks a bit better now. She's not leaning on the mop. Tiny babby hands. Okay, time to help a couple get back together. Sydney, how'd it go, Mr. Hyde? Did you manage to find out what's been troubling Claire? I asked her all right, but she's got some serious worries on her mind. She's worried about love. About what? I feared it might be something like that. I should have known something was up when she left at that hour last night. No, you got the wrong idea, Sydney. It's not like she's going out with a guy. So what's going on? Has she hooked up with some guy? Is he treating her badly? Tiny hands, but a massive fart? Brap. Nothing can outbig the big fart. Whoa, hold on there, Sydney. Let's not jump to conclusions. But you just told me she's having problems with her love life. That's what you said, wasn't it? Not really, no. It's got nothing to do with her love life. She's worried about her mom and you. Her mom and me? It was her mom she met up with last night. You know what she's hoping? She's hoping that you and her mom will give it another try. So that's what it's all about. Also, there's something I need to ask you. What is it? Damn, y'all have farted a lot. 453 times. I wonder when we'll get to 1,000. Also 690. 690. That's the first milestone before 1,000. What's happening with the loan from Mags? How on earth did you find out about that, Mr. Hyde? Claire let me in on it, and it was her mom who told her. I see. Well, it all goes back to when we needed money to get this place up and running. Mrs. Patrice was kind enough to give us what we needed. It all stems from me knowing her late husband. Ah. I've been paying in installments each month. In half a year, my debt will be settled. She said she has too many bad memories to do with the money troubles. For her, it's a very real reason not to give you a second chance to get back together. So that's the root of it. She still doubts me. How'd you know Mags's husband? He was a customer in the restaurant here when this place was still a hotel. I would wait on his table a lot. I used to work there when I was younger, you see. Anyway, George Patrice, or Mrs. Patrice's husband, as I should call him, was a regular. Very partial to cheesecake, as I recall. Cheesecake? Cheesecake is good, but you can't eat it too much. What kind of man was he? I remember him telling me that he used to play the sax in his youth. But at the time when I knew him, he was the owner of several eateries around town. To sum him up, he wasn't afraid to spread his money around. All the waiters jostled for the right to wait on his table. Of course, all they were after were the tips he'd offer them and nothing more. He'd always be around when the hotel was having an evening event. In particular, he always came to the parties they called Scarlet Star. Oh? Wait, the Scarlet Star is the name for the parties that they had? How long has it been in counting compared to how many streams? At least a year, and I estimate 104 streams in that year, so approximately 4-ish farts per stream. That is true, 4 farts per stream. So if we, maybe in another year or a year and a half, we'll get to 1,000. Maybe 2 years, actually. What connection could this have to the thing I'm looking for? Yeah, sounds solid. 2020... This year's 2023, right? 2025, the year of the fart. The year of the 1,000 farts. What does Claire's mom doubt about you? She thinks there's something between me and Mrs. Patrice. She does? It was just something my wife was worried about. You see, when Mrs. Patrice was standing trial, I believed that she was innocent. What was she on trial for? My wife was convinced she was guilty. And And from that point, she was sure that Mrs. Patrice and I had something going on. Meaning that when I borrowed the money, she refused to forgive me for what I'd done. So was there any truth to it? You and Mrs. Patrice, I mean. Or was it simply all a huge misunderstanding on Claire's mom's part? 2025, the prophecy of the millennial millennial. How deep does this rabbit hole go? I have no idea. This is all so deep. It's like he in the past used to wait on the husband of the apartment's owner, who would go to parties at the old hotel called Scarlet Star, and like, of course it was a misunderstanding. I only had eyes for her. There was never anything between me and Mrs. Patrice. Yeah, I don't even know why she would think that. Like, I mean, she's just borrowing money from her, and he's just being a friend. There were parties called Scarlet Star? Yes, there were. Every month, Hotel Cape West would hold a party on a date with the number 6 in it. Those parties would be called Scarlet Star. How did they earn that name, though? I couldn't tell you. I haven't got the faintest idea, I'm afraid. Other parties that were held there had similar names like Gold Star or Silver Star. Those were held on dates with the numbers 3 or 9. What kind of parties were they? Just run-of-the-mill affairs, really. You know, the type with food and drinks and a live band and dance floor. I was there on a number of occasions, and they were all pretty similar. Scarlet Star, number 6? Is that related? Sydney, when did Mag stand trial? Well, let's just forget about that, shall we? No. I'm not gonna forget about it. You're telling me something about this tight-lipped woman. So you can't tell me, huh? Not really. Well, I can't beat it out of you, but I can ask you nicely. Will you tell me? Yeah, I suppose I could. Whoa, that was so easy. That was too easy. Seeing as it's you I'm talking to. Okay, I guess it's like I built up a... We've passed the Sydney checkpoint. We have a high enough friendship with Sydney. Scarlet Star, obsessed with the number 6. Sounds like teenage Satanist wannabes. Yeah, like 666 Scarlet Star. Like, do a little pentagram on the ground. But you have to promise to keep it to yourself, mind? Of course. 13 years ago, Mrs. Patrice was a suspect in a certain incident. The jury returned a verdict of innocent, though, and she was freed. Was it the murder 13 years ago? What kind of incident was it? She was suspected of killing her husband. Wait, was her husband the one that was killed? 13 years ago? Like, I think there was a murder in the hotel, and that's why it closed down or some shit. What the hell? Oh wait, no, that was 25 years ago. I have no fucking idea. She was a suspect in a murder case? She was indeed. Sydney, why was her husband... Mr. Hyde, I've got nothing more to say on the matter. Can we leave it there, please? The verdict was innocent, and that's all that counts. I really don't want to talk about it anymore. I understand. I just need to make sure. But you will keep this discussion between us, won't you? I really don't want anything I've said about Mrs. Patrice to get out. I only told you because I trust you. Yeah, I heard you loud and clear. I don't know. I guess Kyle can keep a secret, but he's also pretty nosy. Then we understand each other. The last thing I want is to cause any trouble for Mrs. Patrice. And now we're gonna go up to Mrs. Patrice and be like, hey, so I heard that you were suspected of murder. And she's gonna be like, I'm kicking you out. Now, was that everything you wanted to ask me about, Mr. Hyde? I do have a cafe to run, you know. Actually, there's something else. What do you want to know? Do you still love your wife? Do I what? I want to hear how you really feel about her. Well, I love her, and there's no denying it. I just haven't got the confidence to tell her. To tell her you love her? Not exactly. To tell her that I want us to give it another try. You understand what I'm saying, don't you, Mr. Hyde? Even when two people really love each other, it doesn't guarantee it'll work out. The real reason we separated was to do with me. When I think about how it happened now, I can see exactly why she walked out. If only I could have seen things the way I see them now. I tried to console myself by making her the villain and branding her as heartless, but the truth is, I was a fool. The worst thing is that it took losing my wife for me to notice how she was feeling. That's why I'm afraid. I'm afraid that if we did get back together, I'd do the same thing over again. His nose gets really long in this specific expression. Like, oh, he's got long nose. He's got Squidward nose. Hey, Mrs. Patrice, why'd you cack your old man? She's like, whoa, what? I'm sure she's thinking along the exact same lines, though. You may feel unsettled, but you clearly want to have another shot at happiness. Mr. Hyde. Claire told me about the promise you made her. She did? She told me about the first Christmas you spent without your wife, and when you told her that you'd find happiness again together. She's been thinking about that ever since. Well, her idea of happiness is having her family back and all living together. Mr. Hyde. Mr. Hyde is just being a fucking family therapist. It's not my place to dictate to you how your family should be, but I'll tell you this for free. There aren't many families that can get back together. Most of them who've tried fail. Ain't that a fact? Yeah, Sydney's nose grown like Pinocchio up here. A sad but true one. Okay, I need to be somewhere. It's 3 p.m. already, damn. Do we need to talk to her again? Tell her that, you know, your dad still loves your mom. Thanks a million, Mr. Hyde. I feel much better now. Okay, so nothing happening there. Something that Sydney said has got me thinking. He said that there was a person who always attended the Scarlet Star parties. I think I need to find out a little more about that person. Oh no. Are we gonna ask Mags about her dead husband? Okay, she's opening the door. That means we gotta talk to her. Hello there, Mr. Hyde. Mrs. Patrice, you wouldn't by any chance have any free time at the moment, would you? As a matter of fact, I would. There's something I'd like to ask you. And what might that be? I'd like to hear about your husband. I'd like to hear about your court case. Top one is just fucking stupid. I'd like to hear about your husband. Why would you want to know about him? When we last spoke, you told me a little about your late husband. You said he enjoyed jazz music and even used to play the saxophone. That's right. How are we gonna make this work? I must confess, I'm into jazz music too. I often listen to it in my room. The best kind of jazz always features a saxophone, don't you think? Well, if you say so. So once I heard that your late husband played it, I instantly became interested. Would you be so kind as to tell me a little more about him? Well, certainly, since you asked so nicely. Please come inside. Oh wow, that actually worked. I mean, Kyle does like jazz music, so it checks out. He has that poster of a saxophone player on his wall. You know, sometimes when y'all have been with me for almost 3 years at this point. stream-wise. Y'all know some of my habits, or some of the habits I used to have. And I remember when I would drink energy drinks during my later night streams at like 10 p.m. or 9 p.m. or some shit. I don't drink energy drinks that late anymore. Not nearly as often anyway. But you know, sometimes on nights like these where I'm like just really tired and I haven't had the chance to nap that much, sometimes I just want to get a coffee or an energy drink and just drink it and be like, okay, time to stay up until 3 a.m. and I'm gonna regret it tomorrow. I don't want to regret it tomorrow because I have anniversary plans. Mrs. Patrice, your husband played the tenor saxophone, didn't he? Yes, that's right. When did he start? As a pro, I mean. He was already part of an established band at the age of 20. Whoa, that's young. So he must have studied how to play it somewhere. Do you know where? He told me that he taught himself how to play, and that he was into jazz from the moment he was born. Holy shit, that's some, he's gassing himself up. I don't think he was into it from the moment he was born. Lapsed and awake for 36 hours. Oh no, Cabal. Cabal, I hope you can find sleep soon. Are you trying to reset your sleep schedule? Or is it... Well, I know like part of it is because, you know, insomnia. But like, are you trying to like reset it a little bit? What kind of person was he? He was a real gentleman, both masculine and invigorating at the same time. Oh wow, that means he was good in bed, right? These qualities guaranteed him a hit with the ladies. When did he throw in the towel and stop playing? I'm sorry? Well, he went on to run several eateries around town, didn't he? And he was a regular guest at the hotel restaurant here too, right? Who told you about that, Mr. Hyde? Let's do a little save. I don't know if I want to give it up. I looked it up. I found out all about him from an old newspaper article I got from the library. It was right there alongside one about your court case. Oh. Well, she didn't flash red, so that means that was the right answer. But she still doesn't seem to like that. It seems like you've gone to great lengths to investigate me, Mr. Hyde. Doesn't it? Tell me, why is it that you've been investigating me? I told you, I'm interested. I'm keen to learn more about the kind of stuff your late husband played. Not to mention about you, seeing as you're a widow just like my mom. I see. So, you know everything it would seem. What's so funny? I just had to laugh. I have things in my past that I would be happy never to share with anyone. And I was planning on keeping it all the way until we'd all gone our separate ways. Yet, as the day we all leave draws ever closer, you choose now to suddenly develop an interest in my past. I just found that very amusing. Damn, she's mad. She's ticked off at us. Well, I wasn't able to fall asleep by 1 p.m, so I was like, if I sleep now, I would miss this stream. And I'd wake up depressed at 8 p.m, so I chose to be uncomfy for a bit, enjoy stream, be a lot less depressed. Aww. So, convenient timing to reset my sleep schedule for the 3rd time this week. Fuck. Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate you staying up. So, you can spend time with us. Spend time with me, Oppa, and anyone else here lurking. I appreciate that, Cabal. Here. Oh, yeah, a little head pat for Cabal. And also, I'm so bad at finding this, even though I have a fucking stream deck now. I'm like looking at it, I'm like looking. Yeah! I enjoy your presence here too, Cabal. Me at the stream deck, huh? Yeah, because I have here like a screen with all my emotes on it, all of the Fronge model emotes, but I'm just like, huh? My eyes kind of like cross when I look at it. It's the worst when I sleep through a doodle stream, so I know that feel. Oh. Well, I'm glad that y'all are here today. And I'm glad I ended up streaming. I was like, I don't know about streaming. Sometimes that happens. But I'm like, part of it is like, you know, depression and stuff. Makes me just not want to do anything. But sometimes it's good to push through it. Hey Eli, you lurking? I hope you're enjoying your lurk. Happy Friday. Yeah, it's not that I have to be here, I just want to be here. Yeah. Let's see, Mrs. Patrice. Oh. I'll answer your questions. I was suspected of murdering my husband. That was 13 years ago. When he and I were living together, our house was burgled. Burgled? I didn't know that you could use that in that kind of conjugated verb. Our house was burgled? Our house was burgled one day. The burglar struck me and knocked me unconscious. When I awoke, my husband's body was laying lifeless beside me. In my right hand, I was clutching the gun that was used to kill him. I was framed by somebody. The evidence was more than sufficient for them to hold me as a suspect. But it seemed that fate smiled on me that day, as I was declared innocent. Yeah, their house was hamburgered. Was the real culprit caught? No, they never found him. And though I was declared innocent, people will always remember the accusations, mud sticks, or whatever the saying is. What you said about my late husband is quite true, Mr. Hyde. He was a regular face at this place when it was a hotel. On the day I was acquitted, I took control of the money my husband left to me and purchased the hotel. I wanted to own the place he held so dear when he was alive. And that, Mr. Hyde, is all this lonely widow can tell you. Oh, I feel like you know more. There's more that you know. And I feel like this phone call is gonna give me the opportunity to ask you. Huh? That appears to be the phone. Would you mind waiting here for me, Mr. Hyde? Max makes her way into the other room to answer the phone. Guess I better stay here until she's done. Now I think of it. Or now that I think of it. I'm sure there's a photo of her husband around here. We're gonna do some snooping? Do the old Kyle Hyde snoop? Whenever someone leaves Kyle in a room with no supervision, I'm just like, okay, it's time for him to snoop. It's a photograph in a frame. The photo is of a cheerful young woman. Huh. Is that Mags or is that her... Does she have like a daughter or something? There's a man playing a tenor saxophone in this picture. This must be George Patrice. The Kyle B&E search and pilfer. This photograph is of two young women. Based on their clothes, they must be dancers. This is a pretty old picture. Is one of these women Mags? Did she used to be a dancer? Damn. Oh. This picture has the signatures of George and Margaret on it. Oh, is this an old picture of her and her husband? This must be a picture of Mags when she was younger. Damn, she was a looker. I mean, she still kind of is now, but like... She's wearing a very uniquely designed necklace. Huh? The door to the room opens and Mags walks in. Oh, it's the same... She's wearing the same necklace here as in the picture. I'm sorry to have kept you waiting, Mr. Hyde. It's no problem. I took the liberty of looking at the pictures on the shelf. Oh, these old things. That picture hanging on the wall with the two women. Is one of them you? You're absolutely right. Can you tell, though, Mr. Hyde? Tell which one of them is me? Maybe the one on the right, because she has her hair up in a bun? You're the one on the right. I am indeed. Well done. Who's the woman in the shot with you? She was a dear friend of mine. A fellow dancer. A dancer? Yes, it may be hard to believe now, but I was once a dancer. When was the picture of you and your husband taken? Right after we married. That necklace you see still gets worn today. It was a present from my late husband, and is one of a kind. It's an impressive item, that's for sure. I love this picture of us more than any of the others I have. I'm sure your mother has one of her own that she values above the rest too. As Mags utters those words, I think to myself, Mom doesn't have a single picture of her and Dad, not one. Huh. Oh. What's wrong? My head, it hurts. Are you okay? I'm sorry, I sometimes get like this. It's my reminder of the events that took place during that awful time 13 years ago. You better rest. I'll leave you in peace. That's very kind of you. But before you go, Mr. Hyde, may I ask a favor? Please keep what I've told you today to yourself. I swear, I won't breathe a word to anyone. Okay, time for me to be on my way. Indeed. I leave Mags's room. Mags. Seems she's had a somewhat colorful life. Mr. Hyde? Huh? Dylan! Were you eavesdropping? Bro, he's always there. He just shows up out of nowhere. Dylan, can I speak to you? What's it about? You went to Mrs. Patrice's room, didn't you? Yeah, that's right. I mean, I just walked out of it. I mean, anyone can see that. What did the two of you talk about in there? Bro. Right after I told her I'm not gonna tell anyone. You think I'm gonna tell you? We talked about leaving this place. I see. Good, that was the good answer. Don't tell him anything. Are you curious? No, not really. Anyway, I've got to be on my way. Dylan goes directly into Mags's room. What? He just walks in there? It's my pager. Dylan, like, flabbergasts me every single time we come across him. I better head back to my room. Okay. Gotta pick up the phone or some shit, or call someone. Is this our room? Yeah. I keep forgetting which room we're in. Dylan is a children's coloring book bound within an enigma. Time to give Rachel a call. Red Crown, how may I help you? It's Kyle. I've got some information for you on Jack Green. What did you find out? Well, his name appeared in the 1967 obituaries. It said that Jack Green, a 30-year-old reporter, died in a car accident due to major internal complications and blood loss. A car accident? Did you see who he reported to? Who he reported for? I did. It was a Los Angeles beat. It was Los Angeles beat, the same place as Rex Foster. Were the two closely connected? Yeah, they were. They spent 3 years working together in the editorial department. And what's more interesting is when Rex Foster quit his job, he quit just 3 weeks after Jack Green's death. After that, things really get strange. In what way? It turns out that Jack Green's final article was about the organized crime group Condor. The title was, unsurprisingly, The Truth Behind Condor. It was actually the first part of a series, but Green ended up dying, so only the first part was ever published. I really need to get a closer look at that article, Rachel. Understood. I'll see if I can get a hold of a copy for you. I'm counting on you. There's something else that stood out too. It's about the area the accident happened in. The location was along Route 971. I knew there was something familiar about the place, so I looked it up. It happened on a road between the Los Angeles Beat Company building and Hotel Cape West. There seem to be lots of factors that suggest this was more than a coincidence. You're right. Lastly, I've got a message for you from Ed. He left me a message? He said that there must be some kind of clue that connects the guests who attended the regular parties held at the hotel and the Scarlet Star. That's all he told me. I see. I'll be in touch when I have more information. I forget who Jack Green is. We played this game 2 weeks ago, and I already forget who the fuck one of the side background characters are. Jack Green died 13 years ago. Okay, so Jack Green. Who is that again? Maybe something to do with like Marie, that blonde girl whose husband died and, you know, got stalked by Rex. Jack Green's name was in Rex's notebook. Oh, okay. Thank you, Opal. I think. In his notebook. Yeah, because he was like holding onto a notebook and then like Betty gave us his notebook, blah, blah, blah. Okay. He was writing an article about Condor. Also the message I received from Ed. The one about the connection between the Scarlet Star and the party guests. Now that I think about it, Cindy said something too. He'd always be around when the hotel was having an evening event. In particular, he always came to the parties they called Scarlet Star. Every month, Hotel Cape West would hold a party on a date with the number 6 in it. Those parties would be called Scarlet Star. The guests who attended the Scarlet Star parties. That's it. Maybe that photo album I found on the 4th floor can shed some light. Wait, what photo album? Huh? On the 4th floor. I'm losing track of like what exactly is happening. I need to find out more about that picture. I should take a look at the album. Huh? Where's the photo album? Is it in this room? This? Oh, this is the package from Mom. Maybe we have it? This one, okay. Honestly, I lost track of everything a long time ago in this game. And we're almost to the end too, and it's gonna all like come together. And we're gonna be like, they're gonna mention like, oh yeah, and this person did this, and this person did this, and then this happened, and we're like, we learned this like 7, we learned this like 6 chapters ago, and I forget how this is important. Now, what am I looking for in these? Looks like your regular party. Huh. A lot of these motherfuckers look the goddamn same. Yeah. I mean, like, that's the same with a lot of people. TBH, I don't remember the photo album. I think we, like, picked it up from the 4th floor or something. So there are 4 photos. Why, well, hello there, red dress. Are you looking for some... Oh! That necklace! Hey, I know that necklace. As she said, it's one of a kind, so... another person would most likely not be wearing that. Of course. That's the necklace Mags always has hanging around her neck. Which means this woman it's Mags Patrice. So she used to attend the parties too? Well, I mean, it makes sense if her husband would attend. Just as I thought. Mags is in the picture of the Scarlet Star party. Looks like she's just earned herself another chat with me. Just after I left, after she had like a migraine or something. Time to give her another migraine. Oh, Mags. I'm sorry. Or maybe I'm not. Maybe you're the murderer. But who knows? Huh? Oh my god, it's the French guy. Hey. Ah. Mince-a-lors? Mince-a-lor? I don't know how to pronounce that. Looks like somebody didn't want to be seen, am I right? It's nothing. So you didn't hand back the spare key to 205 like you said you would, huh? That's right, I didn't. Oh, he went into the locked room. What were you doing in there, Charles? That would be... Quit stalling, spit it out. What's the matter? Did I catch you up to no good or something? He's acting pretty suspicious. Anyway, get back inside. I've got stuff to discuss. Caught red-handed. He hasn't been doing enough stuff. He needs to have a little interrogation. Oh, it's the interrogation music. Charles, tell me, what were you up to in here? I can't say. Now you listen here. Why can't you tell me? Because I don't want to. Besides, it has nothing to do with you. Charles, you're not helping yourself, you know. You're acting really suspiciously. Now tell me. Tell me. What were you up to in here? I can't say. Were you up to no good? No, it's not like that. Why are you accusing me when you have no proof of anything? If you're innocent, then you'll have no problem telling me what you were doing. I told you I don't want to. I'm not interested in telling someone who branded me as guilty on a whim. I'm not feeling very well. Please leave me alone. It looks like I need evidence. Hey, Cries, how you doing? Happy Friday. Maybe we can go and see what he was doing. Mr. Hyde, what are you doing? Am I not supposed to interact with anything? So he doesn't want to talk to me, huh? A friend has come back after a long while. I'm cooking tofu in the background, so I might not be as active. Oh, that's totally fine. I hope you have a good time cooking food, and I hope you have a good time with your friend. I still appreciate you stopping by. Stopping by and lurk cooking. We have a lot of stuff. Okay, so he doesn't want to talk to me, but like, what do I... Do I leave? It's no good. I can't go without talking to Charles. I can't say. What is he hiding? There's like a puzzle here. Charles, listen to me. Okay, so I guess we have to try and leave before talking to him again. I'm sorry I doubted you. That's okay. I should have been a little more controlled when you found me. I just can't believe you were so keen to keep it a secret. It's not that. I'm just a little shaken up. I was doing something I didn't want other people to know about. What, was he masturbating in here? Probably not, but like... Maybe he was like thinking about his old friend who used to live here. I haven't eaten nearly all day, so I'm really looking forward to this. Nice, I hope it's good. Tofu is very good. I could go for some tofu. Especially in a good sauce. I'm embarrassed that you found me, Mr. Hyde. What don't you want other people to know? I don't want them to know that I'm working on a script in here. Oh, a script? For what? It's a screenplay for a movie, actually. I plan to enter into a screenplay competition. A screenplay? And you're writing it in here? Why can't you do it in your own room? Don't ask me that. I come in here to do it because I want to make it more authentic. There's only a couple of days until I have to submit it. Please, Mr. Hyde. Let me continue to use this room until then. Don't tell Mrs. Patrice. Mr. Hyde, this is my one big chance. Well, how is this making it more authentic? Is it because he's using a typewriter? With my special marinade mix too. Ooh, nice. What do you mean by more authentic? Billy left his old typewriter in this room and I'm writing my screenplay on that. It's the key to making me look like a pro to the people who check the entries. Huh. Maybe this is an 80s thing, but I guess using a typewriter to type your scripts makes you look more legit? Are you serious? Could you possibly make any less sense if you tried? The typewriter Billy left in this room, it's not a standard one, it's very special. He's now a top Hollywood screenwriter, but when he started out, he used this very typewriter. There's something very special about it. It has some sort of power. That's why I'm using it to write my screenplay on. Oh, is it like some kind of superstition? TBH typewriters feel more tangible than typing on a computer. That makes sense. Like you get to see like each letter being stamped onto a physical piece of paper. And also the buttons feel more, you know, you have to press them harder too. I'm sure it's going to guarantee my screenplay will be successful. If it's the typewriter that's so special, can't you just take it to your own room? No, I have to write it in this room. What made you believe in all this superstitious stuff? That doesn't matter. What does matter is that I do believe, and I must finish. And I must finish. I mean, like, when you get really desperate, you start believing in superstitions. But also, you could just believe in them naturally. I believe in superstitions, like knocking on wood and jinxing and stuff. And getting rid of typos is difficult on typewriters. Yeah, you have to, like, manually erase them. Why is this your one big chance? Because if the screenplay doesn't make me successful, I'm going to have to leave my university and return to France. Is that so? I made a promise to my grandfather. If I can't make a name for myself during my year here, I have to return home. Then I'll have to take over the family business. The family business? Does that sound strange to you, Mr. Hyde? Not really, I'm just surprised that someone of your class is living in a place like this. It's unexpected, that's all. Did you choose this place so you could study how other people live their lives? Or were you just curious about something? Neither. I searched for this place and decided I had to live here. You did? I wanted to use this building's secret as a basis for my screenplay. Huh. What secret? I have a personal vendetta against the Black Cat Superstition. Oh yeah, because you have black cat. Yeah, they aren't bad luck. They're cuties. Yeah, only a year? A year is nothing. It's nothing to go to school and make a name for yourself. Yeah, several black cats. Yeah. Black cats are pretty good. What do you mean by secret, Charles? Well, Mr. Hyde, you know that there was an incident here, right? You know, back when it was a hotel. Did everyone know about this but me? Yeah, apparently. Everyone knew that they were moving out, and everyone knew that this place had a murder in it. That it was a hotel. What kind of incident was it? Playing dumb. He's playing dumb. A murder. When this place was still a hotel 13 years ago, somebody was murdered here. So he knows about the murder of Kathy McGrath? Huh, 13 years ago someone was murdered. 13 years ago, Mags's husband was murdered too. How come you know about that? I heard the story from my grandfather before coming to study here. He visited LA on a number of occasions in the past on business. He even stayed here a few times. He knew that on the final day of the building functioning as a hotel, somebody was killed. I was in awe of what he told me. When I came to LA, I investigated the place that was once the hotel, and discovered that not only was it now an apartment building, but also that the murder case had never been solved. So let me get this straight. You're basing your screenplay on the murder, and that's the reason you chose to stay here. Precisely. That's some stupid shit. Just kidding. But it's something that a young person would do, yeah. I see. Charles, as this means a lot to you, and it's your big chance and all, I'm gonna keep your coming in here a secret. Thank you, Mr. Hyde. I'm sure this is going to become a wonderful story. The title is Door to the Past. It's about a murder inside a closed-down hotel. The murderer is a member of the hotel front desk staff. He conceals the evidence on the 4th floor of the hotel. I've been using Mr. White from I've been using Mr. White from room 306 as the basis for the killer. Mr. White's the creepy looking businessman guy with like the kind of mid-length hair and the glasses, if you remember. He like approached he approached Kyle for like a drink on Christmas night, and he pissed Kyle the fuck off. He's so fucking annoying. Something about him fits the profile of a killer, don't you think? I'm sure he'd be thrilled to hear that. I suppose I won't know unless I ask him. Perhaps I can add you to the story too. There's still room for an accomplice. No, I don't want to be an accomplice. Don't even think about it. Come on, it'll be fun. Besides, I know what you've been up to. What does that mean? I know you sometimes go up and have a look around the 4th floor. You're just like the bad guy in my story. What? Don't worry though. You're not the only person who likes looking around up there. I've been up there lots of times too. What the hell for? I started going up there a while back when I was looking for inspiration for my story. I took an 8mm camera with me and did some filming too. I caught something really interesting when I was up there. Yeah? What did you tape? I'm sure you'd like me to tell you, so I'll make you a deal. If you tell me what you were looking for when you went up there, I'll show you the film. Oh, this little shit. You got yourself a deal. Now, show me the film. Oh? Wait, are we going to his room? Also, let's save. It would be awful if we lost our progress here. We've been through so many conversations. And it's only been like an hour. The story is a lot less straightforward than it was in Hotel Dusk. That's why I'm having some trouble following everything. Okay, is this his room? A Draken has entered the room. So this is Charles's room. Holy shit! How'd he get the different wallpaper too? It's like a fucking palace in here. He has a fucking statue. He has a bust in here. Room 305. Oh my god. Charles, show me the 8mm film you took on the 4th floor. I will, but don't forget our promise. You have to tell me what you're looking for when you go up there. The same as you. I don't understand. I'm investigating an incident that happened here quite a while ago. That's why I've been spending time up on the 4th floor. The incident you're talking about, Mr. Hyde. When did you find out about it? I got wind of it not long ago. Just after I found out we'd all be leaving this place. I learned that something terrible happened here in the past. I mean, would you believe it? Just days before we'll all be out of here, I get caught up in an ancient case I know nothing about. So, there you go. The reason why I've been going up to the 4th floor. That's quite interesting, but there's one more thing I'd like to ask you. I haven't got all day, you know, kid. Why are you so keen on finding out about such an old case? I mean, I'm interested because I want to use it as the basis for my story. But what about you, Mr. Hyde? I've always been the kind of person who enjoys solving problems. I used to be a detective, after all. You did? Were you really a detective? Yeah, I was. Up until 4 years ago, anyway. I guess the reason I'm so keen on this case has something to do with my detective's instinct. So now you're a detective salesman! I had no idea you were such an interesting person. If you don't mind, I'd like to hear more about your past next time. Listen, kid, I don't care if you find me interesting or not. My past's nothing special. You should stick to the unsolved case that happened here instead. Now, show me the film you took, Charles. Just a moment, Mr. Hyde. I'm pretty sure this is where I left it. Sorry about that. Well, here it is, my 8mm film, just like I promised. I like how, like, serious he looks when he, like, holds out his hand. Can you make out what's on it, Mr. Hyde? Huh? Huh. Let's have a look. It looks like somebody's been caught on camera. But who was it? That's the question. By the looks of the watch they're wearing, it seems to be a man. But I wonder who it could be. It's a shame this film doesn't show us their identity. Who would be up there on the 4th floor so late at night anyway? I'd really like to know who they are and what they're doing. You and me both, kid. Okay, so did he, like, leave his camera up there and it just caught someone on film? Judging from their build and the kind of clothes they got on, I'm sure it's a guy. What with the fire door up there serving as fairly good security, I'd have thought most people wouldn't be able to get in. So, you think the person on this film is someone already living in this building? It's certainly a possibility. You could be right. I've got it. I know a way we can learn the true identity of the person on this film. There's a way we can find out right away. And how are you gonna do that? Magic? No, photographs. To help me get the characters right in my story, I took photos of the interior here. When I did that, I occasionally caught some of the tenants in the shots. It's like when you take selfies or you take pictures of like random things in the environment, you accidentally catch people on camera. You accidentally invade their privacy. Time you showed me those photos, I think. I have some developed ones right here. There's one still in the camera, though. Not developed, huh? That's not gonna help us much. What if that's the crucial one? Fear not, we can develop it here. You can do that? Sure I can. I've got everything we need right here, and we can use the bathroom to do it. Damn, developing film in your bathroom. There's one small problem, though. My red lamp is broken. Mr. Hyde, do you have anything we could use instead? Something like your red lamp, huh? That's not gonna be easy, but no harm in having a look around. think I've developed film before, or I at least saw an area where people develop film. Because I did a lot of like artsy things back in high school and stuff. And I think I saw like a, what is it called? A dark room? Damn, this guy's got titties. Why the hell does Charles have a plaster bust in his room? I don't know. You tell me. Okay, so... do we have something that can serve as a red lamp? Thanks for the quote, Cries. This guy's got titties. The only thing that has any, like, reddish stuff in it is this. Something we can use to make the lamp shine red. Maybe I can dig something up in my place. Okay, so we have to go back to our room and get something. Let's go! It's probably in like the... I'm trying to think about what we could use, but... there's like stuff in the sales box that we got for our job. Something in the drawer? Instant camera, bleach, glue. What's this? Doorknob set? Oh, okay. Okay, so nothing in there is useful. Underwear, flask. Nothing here. What about stuff that our mom gave us? Okay, nothing else selectable. This game is making us work for it. The pinky? The pinky rabbit bank? No. Maybe the wine? Oh, this! Yeah! Ah, this might work. Good thing I'm too lazy to put things in the trash. Thank you, Kyle, for your laziness. Okay, this should do. This is why I don't throw things out. You never know what you might need. Me as I live in my own filth. Things are at least a little bit better now. I have cans of stuff on the floor, but I don't have water bottles on the floor anymore because I use like a plastic water bottle, like a reusable one. Okay. We got something. Okay, we gotta show him what we found. I figure you could throw this over your lamp. Titty. Just imagine like his hand is like grabbing titty. Well, what do you think? It might work. If we do as you say, it should give us the right kind of light we need. Let's give it a try. Please place it over the lamp. Sounds simple enough. Alright, so he said it's in the bathroom. Right? Okay. Here? I can't This is so fucking... like... I want to use the word trashy, but like, that's not the right word I'm looking for. It's like... budget film development. Just use the light in your bathroom and put a little red wrapping over it. Oh damn, we're red too. That looks like it'll do the trick. Time to let Charles see my handiwork. I was wondering if they were gonna turn the sprites red. Okay, it looks like we're all set to get started. Now we got the right kind of light, we can begin to develop the photos. Charles, let me do it. Sure, if you like, but have you ever done this before? Not even once. Then maybe you should let somebody who knows what they're doing take care of it. But then again, if you really want to try... Oh, alright then. I suppose I could talk you through it. You'll find the freshly printed film on the workbench next to the toilet. Place it into a liquid-filled tray and move it around until the image appears. When you're happy the image is clear enough, remove it from the tray. It's very important you give the paper adequate time in the liquid, not too much though. The timing for taking the photo out is critical. It's not rocket science, is it? Well, it's not rocket science, but like, it's a skill. Don't underestimate film developers. Okay, I'm saving it because I feel like I could fuck this up. Damn, we're super red. Holy shit, look at how red Kyle is. He's like Kool-Aid red. Okay, I was wondering if there was going to be a film development minigame, and here it is. There's a workbench with stuff for developing photos on it. Okay, here's the film. This must be the freshly printed film. Is that it? Okay. We did pretty good the first time, nice. Looks like I'm a natural. Nice to see you again, Frank Raver. I take the photo of Frank. Now I just need to compare this photo to the film. Did you get a clean image, Mr. Hyde? Yeah, piece of cake. Maybe I should change my career. Ah, very good, Mr. Hyde. While you were doing that one, I got some other photos ready. Maybe you'd like to compare them? We got a little photo of Tony just passed out drunk. That's funny. I got a photo of Will. So Will, Tony, and Frank. I guess those are the only other guys in this area, except for Dylan. But I guess he's not a suspect. He's able to go up there anytime. Okay, so I guess we gotta just look at the photos in here. That's Frank. It's a funny photo. So I'm trying to look at the film and compare. Like, there's that middle one where the watch is showing. And, I don't think it's Frank because his suit shirt goes down too low. I feel like it might be Will. Well, his watch is like square. It's kind of hard to tell. It's really hard to tell. They all got watches. So I don't think it's Tony. It can either be Frank or Will. I think it's Will. Just because he's kind of, you know, suspicious and we haven't gotten any info on him. Hey, PlayStation fan. Hey. Happy Friday. How you doing? Okay, so what are we supposed to do here? So we've looked at the film. Do we compare? Oh. Time to compare the photo with the... Oh, okay, we were supposed to do a fucking mini game with it. We weren't supposed to just stare at it. Okay, so... What are we supposed to do? Some of these mini games, I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Okay, first, maybe we gotta close the cover. Let's see. Control config. Lid is enter. So let's... What was that? What was that? What was that noise? That's funky. I'm resetting some of the configs so that I was hoping that we could change the position. Oh, I see. Why does it gotta be so far down? Oh, here. Are you swiping up? I was, but apparently we had to like back out and then oh, it's Will. It's Will. It's Will. That's Will's watch. But we gotta compare it so that the game flags that we compared both the photos. At least we can hold it down. Why does he have a camera in that photo? Bingo. Hold on. There's a camera there with him. Maybe he caught something on film. That settles it. The person on the film was none other than Will White. Now to figure out what the hell he was doing up there on the 4th floor. Mr. Hyde, how did it go? I know who the person in the film was. Turns out our mystery star was Will White. Really? Interesting. What do you think he was doing up there, though? I'm afraid I haven't cracked that part yet. Well, I would go and ask him, but I doubt he'd tell you, even if you asked nicely. I'll get to the bottom of this, don't you worry. Okay, I'll leave it to you. Guess I won't be needing this film anymore. Might as well return it. Titty. Thanks for showing me this, Charles. I've gotta go. Okay. Ah, my shoulder aches. Lately, my shoulder has been, like, aching. It's probably because of my posture. I have bad posture. I'm a round blob, but I'm deflating. So it was Will. I think he and I need to have a frank Q&A session. Is it time to interrogate him now? I'd be happy to. He's a fucking asshole. Okay, first let's save. Thank you for the wellness pack. Okay, let me stretch. Drink some water. And I'm already sitting up straight, so that's good. Thank you, Cries. Right, who lives in here again? I think this might be Dylan's room. No, Frank lives in the room above us, because I remember they were talking about, like, oh, Frank has such heavy footsteps walking around all day. This might be Will's. Oh? The door to room 305 opens. Looks like Mr. White hasn't been home since yesterday. Charles, did you think it would be that simple? What are you on about? What does he say? Sure, I know you told me that you were looking into him and his activities, but does that mean you're just going to meet up and ask him a couple of questions? For somebody who used to be a detective, I was hoping for a more exciting approach. I can't say I'm not disappointed. Bro, this is real life. Charles, if you got something to say, just go ahead and say it already. Okay, Mr. Hyde, I will. I believe I know far more about Mr. White and what he gets up to than you do. Why, you say? Well, that's because I've already had my eye on him for a while now. Oh yeah, because he's modeling the villain in his story after him, so he's probably studied him a bit. You mean you've been watching him? Yes, keeping tabs on his movements. He's rarely home, but there's somebody who visits room 306 on a regular basis. And when he does come home, he goes out again very late at night. I'm almost certain that he's not a real salesman. You need to do a lot more than ask questions if you want to get to the bottom of this. Yeah, and what did you have in mind? Torture? Very funny. I meant you should definitely take a look around in room 306 when he's out. Now might be a good chance to do so. Oh, I have a nightlight scheduled to turn on my computer. Like, you know how like some devices have a nightlight feature that turns the screen like yellowish at night? It's starting to turn on now, and now my screen just looks like piss color. Everything's becoming more and more piss. Fancy yourself as a bit of a detective, right? Yourself, do you? Not quite, but two sets of eyes have got to be better than one, right? I suppose you've got a way to get into the locked room too, have you? That's easy, we can use some wire to pick the lock. Way to go, Charles, outstanding. Maybe a brief stint in jail will help you add authenticity to your story too. Yeah, that's breaking and entering. We won't get caught, trust me. Charles, stop. Oh my god, did Dylan just come out of his room? Hello, Charles. Dylan was doing snooping too. Dylan just shows up everywhere. What the hell was Dylan doing in there? What on earth were you doing in there? Just as we were about to break into. I was just passing by and heard a noise. I knew Mr. White was out, so I was worried. I figured I'd see if I could find out who made the noise by peering into the keyhole. That's what happened, isn't it, Mr. Hyde? Yeah, just like the kid said. When I was about to take a look, you burst out. You took me completely by surprise. What were you doing in Will White's room, Dylan? Nothing much. I was taking care of something Mr. White asked me to do. And what was that? He asked me to turn the water off while he was out. Turn it off? Why'd he ask you to do that? To prepare to move out, of course. I've got a spare key, so I let myself in. Don't people normally turn the water off last before moving out? Dylan, it's like I just told you. I'm only doing what he asked me to do. Anyway, I have to go now. Dylan looks flustered as he moves away and disappears. Yeah, he's not telling the truth. That was quite a shock. Some quick thinking on your part, though. I'm not proud of it. I've never liked telling lies. That felt horrible. Just as you were about to break and enter into someone's room. Glad to hear it. Beats being a pathological liar any day of the week. I'm sure it does. Speaking of Dylan, wasn't he acting a bit strange? He seemed to be unusually panicked. Yeah, not his usual suave self at all. What is it, Mr. Hyde? The door. It's open. It is? Looks like Dylan fled before locking this thing back up. Guess you won't be breaking into anywhere today, kid. Then now's our chance, Mr. Hyde. Let's go inside. Hold it. We can't both go in. One of us needs to stand guard. If we're both poking around in there and somebody finds us, it's gonna hit the fan. Well, I don't know anything about a fan, but you're right. Why don't you go inside and I'll stand guard in the hallway? That'd work. I've got a good way of alerting you too. If somebody comes by, I'll knock on the door to let you know. If you hear me knocking, try not to make any noise inside the room. When they've gone, I'll knock again and you can continue looking around. Do you think that'll work? Suppose it'll have to do. Oh no. We're gonna have to do this whole game of like red light, green light. He knocks and then, you know, we stop moving. It looks like it's mostly packed up. This place has less taste than dry bread. Can't imagine anybody could actually live in here. Hey! Okay, so it's boxes sealed with tape. Next to the sofa is a small brown overnight bag. A trench coat lying on the arm of the sofa. The whole thing is wrinkled and damaged. Huh. Black case. The case is locked and there's no getting in. I can't see a keyhole on this thing. Instead, there seems to be a kind of round indentation. How the hell do you get this thing open? A whiskey bottle, there's still some left. I've seen this brand of whiskey in the cafe, too. There's a lowball glass on the coffee table. There are a few melting ice cubes in it and some water at the bottom as a result. Wait, are the ice cubes still in there? It hasn't all melted? The front page of an old newspaper is lying on the table. Wait a minute. It looks like the page has a section missing. The date reads December 1955. 1955? I could be mistaken, but that was 25 years ago. That was 25 years ago. The same year our dad died. It looks like it could be the article about my dad that I got in the second order sheet. Oh, could Will be the one who's writing us the letters? I take the newspaper, front page with a section missing. It's the signal. Don't move. Don't move. Okay, we're all done. You whispering is good to my ears. I'm glad I could provide a little bit of ASMR. Fronge ASMR. I hear the sound of somebody knocking on the door. Okay, all clear to keep looking. Huh? Damn, this is a bad time for the phone to ring. A threatening voice sounds out from the phone. Guess you're not there, so I'll just relay this message. The goods have been obtained in the same way as usual, and the money is in the usual place. Oh my god, that sounds so fucking shady. What the hell was that about? Is there something in this pocket? Not really my style, but I'll take a look in the pockets anyway. What's this? There's something inside. It looks like some sort of magnetic key. Oh, for the suitcase. Maybe if I use this key. We're so close to getting caught. Wait, what is this? A pair of black leather gloves. In my professional opinion, as a former detective, I'd say these look sleek but sturdy. I'm glad we get his professional opinion on that. Okay, here goes. I use the magnetic key to open the case. Bingo. Inside the case is a single lens reflex camera. It's a camera. Strange, it's much lighter than I thought it would be. Ah, now I see. The thing's just a toy. When I shake it, I can hear something rattle around inside. Is it storing something? Is it hiding something inside? There's a notebook inside the case. It has a black leather cover that's old and worn. There's something written in it. You'll find information on the item on the right of the third floor display case. The guards change at 10 p.m., and the alarm bell on the door is an old type. It seems like information on how to get around a security system. We'll communicate using the usual means. Check the mirror. Check the mirror? What's he gonna see there? His reflection? There's a letter set inside the case. This isn't the first time I've seen this. It's exactly the same letter set used for the order sheet. I take the letter set. Does this mean he's the sender, though? Mirror. There's a mirror hanging above the wash basin. It has a few dirty marks on it that look like fingerprints. Huh? Why are the sink and its surroundings so clean? Yet the surface of the mirror is dirty. Time for me to give that mirror a closer look. The mirror is covered in dirt. Can't see a thing in it. Maybe needs steam? 49828. Let's write this down. 49828. There. There's got to be more to it than just a plain old mirror. Wait, but I found out about it. I guess we have to do something extra. I guess we had to, like, touch the mirror to finish the puzzle. What, did we have to write it down here? Oh my god, my handwriting with this mouse. Bro, what do we gotta do? Game. Do we gotta do something else? Wait, I think I wrote it wrong. Isn't it 498628? 498628. I wrote it. Well, I didn't write it completely wrong, but. Okay, so let me just look up what exactly we're supposed to do here. Last window. Now you have to look for something to use said combination with. Okay, so he's just gonna keep saying that, like, we gotta look at it closer, but we gotta actually use the number somewhere. Also, let me save here. I don't want to get caught and then have to redo it all. Damn, it's taking a while to save. So, black case. Find information on the item on the right of the third floor display case. On the right of the third floor display case. I know, I'm not the fairest one of all. Mirror, mirror on the wall. There's something inside the camera. Alright. Maybe there's something else we have to interact with? Oh, damn, that was kind of a glitch on the left. That was very quick, though. Is there something here? Okay, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of use here. Let's just check the bathroom just in case. I think we might be done in this area. So 3rd floor display case. Maybe we're done here? There's gotta be something here. I better search harder. Nah! Oh, I see. We didn't check the other closet. Open my eyes wider. Ah! Okay, we gotta put the combination in here. I see. 4, 9, 8, 6, 2, 8. Open. Oh. Money! Probably dirty money. It's open. There's a passport inside the safety deposit box. What have I got here? It looks like Will McGrath. Same last name as the murdered lady from 13 years ago. Kathy McGrath. His last name isn't White. The passport is in the name of Will McGrath. Hang on. McGrath? So Will's surname is the same as the manager of the hotels. I take Will's passport. I'm just gonna take it now. I'm just gonna take his passport. Okay, not again. Guess I better keep the noise down. Freeze. It's pretty nerve-wracking just to hear like the footsteps get closer. Okay, all clear. I'll say it before and I've said it before and I'll say it again. Will is a nerd emoji. He is the nerd emoji, especially now that he's like being implicated with all this. There are banknotes inside the safety deposit box. A stack of banknotes. Where did he get so much cash? I don't know, maybe he doesn't trust the bank or something. Maybe he's just keeping it there for safekeeping. Okay, so I feel like we've seen everything. Unless he says that there's still more. Okay. Okay, now we're gonna see what's inside the camera. What the? Am I supposed to put in a date here? Date. Oh, maybe it's the date on his passport. Let's see. Let's see what we got from the passport. 28 November 42. That's probably it. 28/42 November. Damn, Will is like 38 years old? Isn't that it? Huh. Interesting puzzle. or contraption. What's this? It's pretty tattered, but it looks like it was a postcard. Also, I can make out a signature on the edge. Michael McGrath. Wasn't he... I take the torn postcard. Why on earth would anyone want to stuff half a postcard from the hotel manager into this toy camera? Well, maybe it was his brother or something. Oh, I suddenly get a hint of a presence other than my own, but it's already too late. I feel the muzzle of a gun pressed up against my back. There's nothing I can do other than stay still in amazement. I hear a cold voice from behind me say, "What are you doing here?" Just having a look at your room. Do you mind? I needed to find out exactly who you were. What were you doing for... What were you looking for in here? Speak up. If you want me to talk, how about putting the piece down? I'm a reasonable man, sure, why not? The pressure on my back disappears. Oh, time for an interrogation. Okay, I need a... Here, I said that, like, today's stream was going to be short, but then we end up streaming for 2 hours anyway because I'm too engrossed in the story. But I need to go pee real quick. Because I had a little bit of water. So, I will be right back, and then we'll do this interrogation with Will. Nerd emoji. Alright. BRB. Alright, we back. Thank you, Cabal. I did have a good break. I hope y'all had a good a little break as well. 1 second, I need to move something. The wires underneath my desk sometimes just like kind of rub against my leg in an annoying way, so I like to move them. Thank you for the welcome back. Alright, let's get back to interrogating Will. We're getting to some of the juicy stuff. We almost got shot. How'd you get in here? The door was open, so I just came in. You're gonna have to do better than that. Unless, of course, you want me to put a billet in you. It's the truth. This place was already open. Dylan left it that way after he came out. Dylan? What the hell? He said you'd asked him to take care of something in here before moving out. He used the spare key to get in, but being the numbskull he is, he left without locking up. Funny, I don't remember asking him to take care of anything. Maybe not, but it doesn't change the fact he was in here. If you don't believe me, take a trip down the hall and ask Charles. He saw it too. He'll tell you exactly what I just did. Also, where's Charles? How did Will get back in here? Or was Will in here the entire time? I mean, I don't think he was, because he wouldn't have let us like see all the things that we did if he was in here the entire time. Let's assume I believe you. For now, anyway. Maybe Dylan was what? No, that can wait. The more pressing issue is what to do about you. I think I'll have you answer a few more questions. Let's start with what you did while you were sneaking around in here. You've twisted my arm. You sure you want me to say it all out loud, though? I mean, I think I've just about pieced it all together. Your secrets and such. Haha. Don't kid yourself. There's no way you know that. You know what I've been doing here. I mean, I kinda get it a little bit. Also, his finger wagging. I like that. So there's more to it? As I suspected. You don't know the first thing about me, do you? That's right, you keep telling yourself that. If you know so much, why not share some of it with me? Sure, but you'd better listen good. You sure you want me to say all out blah 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 blah? Okay, I have to redo the choice. Yeah, he's literally like, actually? Let's try him on to you. Oh, you are you? Well then, let's see just how much you think you know, shall we? For starters, I know what your real job is. You've been earning a pretty penny too, by all accounts. And what is it you think I've been doing to earn all this money? I know plenty more than that. I know all about the lies and deceit too. Oh? And just what do you think I've been lying about? Well, you faked your identity and you also faked your job. You faked your identity. Yeah, that's part of the faking the job thing too. What? I've got your number. You've got nothing, that's what. You don't have the first clue who I am. Where'd the banknotes come from? Banknotes? And where'd you come across something like that? You know damn well. I looked in the safety deposit box. You did what? You opened the safety deposit box in my closet? Yeah, what's the matter? Surprised I got into it? There's no way you could have got that thing open. The only person who could possibly open it is me or the intended recipient. Who's the intended recipient? Your real name is... Will McGrath. Ridiculous. You already know my name. Come on, do you take me for an idiot? Your name's Will McGrath. Can you actually hear yourself? Have you got any proof to back up your outrageous claims? Yes, I do. I do, actually. An official document. Take a look at this. That's my... Okay, so like, we got Charles outside who said that he's like really bad at lying. And then we got Will here, who's like really good at, he just lies without a second thought. He's like, no, my name's not Will McGrath. Right, it's your passport. Will McGrath. What? That's your real name after all. It is, well done. That's me, Will McGrath. He's like, nuh-uh. And I'm like, uh-huh. And then he's like, oh. What are you trying to trade? I'm sorry? What are you trading in exchange for the banknotes? It must be something fairly significant for the price you've been paid. Save your breath. I've had enough of your damn prying. It's not gonna be your day then. My prying's just getting started. You've been pretending to live here in this apartment, but your real job means you have to creep out around secretly at night. Am I wrong? You'd be wise not to cross me any further. You started this conversation, remember? Maybe it's going to take a bullet to shut you up after all. Yeah, I'll take a rain check on that. Ooh, Kyle. He's badass. Besides, I doubt you've got the balls to shoot me right here in this place. Right here in this place. That's what you think, is it? Think about it. If you shoot me here, how long is it going to take the other residents to come running? And I'm sure you aren't looking for any more publicity. Brave words for someone in your position. So anyway, now I've blown your cover, Mr. McGrath. What to do about it? Luckily for you, I'm not going to rat you out to the police. If you must know, I only snuck in here to find out something I've been investigating, in the hope of unveiling the truth. And I think you can shed some light on it. I see. Well, Mr. Hyde, would you care to share it with me? What exactly are you looking for? What do you mean by truth? That's easy. I want to know about 25 years ago. Once I found out you were Will McGrath, I realized that you were connected to the murder that happened 13 years ago. Me? Connected to a murder? And how do you figure that? Because you're the victim's son. I'm afraid not. He's lying again! He's lying! The victim of the murder 13 years ago, Kathy McGrath, was the manager's wife. McGrath's a common enough name. Just because we share it doesn't mean I'm related. You seem to enjoy jumping to conclusions. There's no jumping here. It's all based on evidence I have. If that's the case, please show me. I've got it. I've got the evidence. Here. Take a look at this. I opened up the toy camera inside your case. The postcard I found inside bore the name Michael McGrath, the same name as the husband of the victim, Kathy, 13 years ago. He was the manager of the hotel at the time. Why have you been hiding it? Now that you've shown me this, I suppose there's no sense in denying it. You're right, Mr. Hyde. I'm her son. Kathy McGrath, the victim of the murder 13 years ago, was my mother. Damn, it's all connected. I mean, like, it's kind of it's got to end up that way in a detective series. I mean, that's how you get your sense of satisfaction. It all makes sense now. Damn, I never guessed you were related to the victim. No use in keeping quiet now. You may as well talk. What do you want me to say? Tell me everything. I want to hear exactly what you hope to gain from all this. I have absolutely no idea what you're saying. I live here under a false name, I'll grant you that. I'm a guy who does a job I'd rather the other tenants didn't know about. The same guy whose mother was murdered in the past. How's that for the truth? So, now you know everything. What do you have to say? Now, that was almost half convincing. You think I was born yesterday? There's no way in hell you've told me everything. Oh? Last chance, spill it. What have you been doing in this building? What were you trying to gain by using me? Time for you to cut the bull and tell me the truth. Why are you living here in this building? What are you up to? Yeah, it's kind of weird that, like, you know, your mother was murdered in this building 13 years ago and you're just kind of, like, living here. Like, why this building? Would Fronge be able to outsmart Kyle? Probably not, no. He's too cute, too. I don't know if I'd be able to, like, stand a chance against him interrogating me. Nothing, I'm just a tenant. I'm living here just like you are. You expect me to believe that? I kind of want to, you know, do a little save. Is he looking for the culprit? I don't think so. I mean, he... Well, okay, so if he's the one that's, like, sending me these letters, then, like, he might be looking for the culprit. Here. You're looking for the culprit. The what? The case surrounding your mother's murder was never solved. So you're here trying to find out who the culprit is. Maybe I am. What of it? Some of what you're saying is close to the truth, but you're not quite on the money. Mr. McGrath, do not get cryptic with me. I'm not searching for my mother's murderer. I decided to live here after I found out who did it. Oh, so he knows? Mr. Hyde, you and I have shared very similar experiences. Both of us have had a parent murdered. Your father was killed 25 years ago and my mother 13 years ago. Both cases remain unsolved. What are you getting at? However, though our paths are distinctly similar, we have adopted different approaches. You were once a detective, yet you chose not to look into your father's case. You're even living in a place that may still be able to shed light on things, but do nothing. You're not even trying to find out the truth. And that's the reason I'm so angered by you. Wait, we're trying to find out the truth? And the reason I chose to point you in the right direction. Oh, so he sent us the letter. So the order sheet was your doing. That would be telling. Come on, you told me this much. No sense in stopping here. Which direction were you trying to point me in? That's simple. And what did you mean with what you said just now? You said we had distinctly different approaches to our respective pasts. Tell me what you meant by that. It's all about something that I possess, but you don't. A burning desire to get even with the person who's responsible. I'll not rest until the person responsible for my mother's death has been made to pay. And since the justice system has failed in its attempt, I must get revenge. Oh, so he's a vigilante. So who killed Kathy? The main person responsible is already dead. But their accomplice is still around. Their accomplice? Are you referring to... Mrs. Patrice? Are you referring to Mrs. Patrice? Huh, right first time. I moved in here in order to be in a position to take my revenge on her. I originally intended to crush her throat with my bare hands. Holy shit! But then something appeared and got in the way of my plan. So, he's saying that Mags's husband was the one who killed that woman 13 years ago. His mom, Will's mom. But Mags was an accomplice. What kind of revenge are you planning? Wouldn't you like to know? Pitiful. Just pitiful. Now, Mr. Hyde. That hurts. So you were just gonna use me to get your revenge and I'd be none the wiser? I mean, you knew what I did on the side. So you sent me the order sheet, right? I found all the evidence I need to pin it on you in this very room. And what evidence might that be? Yeah, this lore is too deep. It's running deep here. Here, the letter set. It's the same exact one from the order sheet. And my mind is just like trying to piece it all together. Here's your evidence. This is... I love his like shocked face too. He's like, It was you, wasn't it? You sent me the order sheet. Congratulations, Mr. Hyde. I mean, we already confirmed that before, right? What kind of revenge are you planning? I want her to own up to her crimes and show me how repentant she is. Then do it yourself. Don't involve me in your dirty work. You still don't get it, do you? It's much more fun to have somebody else do it. Bro, you're fucked up. You're fucked up. That's a creepy face, too. What was that shit-eating grin? Yeah, Will, surprise Pikachu face. What the fuck, man? You're sick, man. Spare me your moral posturing. You took the order willingly. No doubt you've been having the time of your life roving around the building, reliving your glory days. And it didn't take you long to realize something either. You realized that if you found the Scarlet Star that went missing 25 years ago, you'd be able to uncover the truth behind your own father's murder too. And how the hell did you know about that? What interest could you possibly have in my dad's murder? I heard about it, the incident from 25 years ago. Somebody working in the hotel at the time told me. Who told you? Are you referring to... Your dad? Michael McGrath, your father. He told you, didn't he? Yes, that's right. My father told me the truth before he passed away 3 years ago. He helped me understand exactly what happened on that day 25 years ago. Are we gonna be able to figure out, like, more information about our dad's death? What got in the way of your plan? I learned that my mother's murder was triggered by the incident 25 years ago, and I learned that that was due to the involvement of an organized crime syndicate. A crime syndicate? Yes, and not just any, one that you're very familiar with. None other than Nile. What did you just say? Nile were involved? They were indeed. How the hell do they come into what went on here? That's something I can't help you with, I'm afraid. All I know is that their involvement in the incident complicated matters. Oh my god, this conversation is so fucking long. There's a lot to unpack here. What happened 25 years ago? A safe was broken into on the premises of Hotel Cape West. The item stolen was known as the Scarlet Star. The person who stole it was your father. What? It's true. My father died 3 years ago, right after telling me everything he knew. It was the first time I was able to see the entire picture. So you didn't know before then? No, my father and I never really saw eye to eye. I left home as soon as I could. After that, the only time I met my father was at my mother's funeral. Later, he collapsed due to an illness, and the next time I saw him, he was dying. I hadn't seen him in 10 years. He was in a weakened state in need of my support. Before he'd drawn his final breath, he spoke to me. He told me he was sorry, and that he had something he needed to say to me. He went on to inform me that a man called George Patrice had killed my mother. There was no evidence, but he knew for a fact it was him. Is he seriously trying to tell me that Max's husband killed Kathy McGrath? He then thrust that torn old postcard into my hands and told me something else. That everything started 25 years ago, when the Scarlet Star disappeared. This is the last thing he said, that there was a man who stole the Scarlet Star from the hotel safe 25 years ago. He tried to tell me the name of the safecracker. He struggled to speak the words, but never made it. His final breath had been exhaled. He died a wretched and lonely old man. It wasn't the way he wanted to go. What happened then? After spending the time to look after my dying father, I had a sudden change of heart. Although previously I hadn't really cared for him, these new emotions changed that. Almost without noticing, I was clasping his cold, lifeless hand and making a promise. I promised I'd get to grips with the truth he imparted to me. Get to grips with? Yes, I'd find out everything and bring it to light. Make sure that all the circumstances surrounding my mother's death are known. I used the partial hints that my father had left me with and started to piece it together. How are you? I was lurking. I'm doing well. I hope you had a good lurk. How are you doing? Let's see. I researched the building, the key players, and I learned that George Patrice was already dead, but that didn't deter me. You're doing okay? I'm glad you're doing okay. I'm a little bit sleepy, but you know, that's just how it be sometimes. Hello. Oh, thank you for the head pat. Oh, my throat hurts a little bit. It's less than on Wednesday. It hurts less than it did on Wednesday, but this is a lot of talking too, reading all the dialogue. I had to refocus my efforts on his widow, who had turned the hotel into apartments. Once I had uncovered that information, things got really interesting. I learned that the son of the person who cracked the safe 25 years ago lived there too. But how'd you make the connection? How'd you know that the person who cracked the safe was my dad? Do you really want to know? Well, here goes. The reason I knew was that he was in the same business as I am. I have my own very thorough means of finding out things like that. Okay, so Will is in the safe cracking business. And that's what you use to determine Niall's involvement too, right? Precisely. It also proved useful when it helped me learn about the jobs you did behind the scenes. My methods were infallible. Chris Hyde's son lived in this very building, oblivious to the events of the past. It was priceless, but made me think. I had to find a way to make you start looking into things. And that's when you decided to send the order sheet. Right again. But it seems I underestimated you. Before you unearthed the truths behind Mrs. Patrice and the Scarlet Star, you discovered the truth behind me. When you try to sick a dog at someone, but the dog comes and bites you in the ass, that's pretty much what happened to him. Didn't you think it was bound to happen? What will you do now? It may sound a little boring, but nothing. You found me out so easily after all. If I attempt to delve any further, I fully expect Niall to come knocking on my door. Niall? Yes, they've clearly left their mark on this building. If I even so much as try to uncover the facts behind their operation, I'm a dead man. Please don't misunderstand, Mr. Hyde. I'd like nothing more than to make them pay, but I realize the consequences, and I think it's time for me to release my grip. And you can live with that, can you? Certainly, as long as I'm alive, there's always a chance I can know the truth someday. That's the promise I made to my father. But for the time being, I value my life above all else. I see. That's a really mature way of looking at it. I mean, some people would call it cowardly, but it is true that, like, if you live to see another day, there's always a chance that, you know, years and years down the line, you'll have the chance to find out the truth. The real question is, what are you going to do now? As long as that order remains valid, I'll do what I always do and track the item down. An answer that does you credit. Okay, so after this conversation, I'm kind of seeing, like, you know, Kyle x Will. Kyle x Will ship. I can see it. Not that I support it, but I can see it now. You know, they got that dynamic. They both have similar pasts, you know, involved in this 25-year-long thing. But I still support Kyle x Bradley. But, you know, like, it's my job after all. And the reward that waits for me at the end is more than enough to keep me going. As it should be. In any case, take this. Strange time to be giving gifts, wouldn't you say? I take the torn postcard. We'll probably need to show it as, like, evidence down the line or something. One more thing I forgot to mention. When my father thrust thrust this into my hands. He told me that this was a vital clue to discovering the Scarlet Star. And that, Mr. Hyde, is all I can tell you. Will leaves the room. Okay, also, like, where did Charles go? Like, like, Charles was supposed to be, like, guarding the door, right? Like, did he get beat up? Oh, okay. Charles probably, like, fled the scene as soon as he saw Will. Because, like, there's no way he can, like, wait for Will to pass by. Will is gonna go into his room. Is everything okay, Mr. Hyde? Yeah, just peachy. I was worried for a moment. You took the words right out of my mouth, kid. Did you manage to get away okay? Yeah, just about. He came back while I was keeping watch. I didn't want him to see me, so I quickly made my way back to my room. Sorry. Don't worry. It was quick thinking. Besides, it's not like I could have hidden in his room. I guess you're right. I found out some useful information, though. You know the murder victim from 13 years ago? Turns out Will's her son. He is? and like, now this puts things into perspective, because Charles was gonna write, like, a character like Will to be, like, the culprit of the murder. When it was, like, his mother was actually he was the son. He's not planning on coming back here anytime soon, either. It's probably best if you just forget all about him. He's not the kind of guy you should be associating with in any case. I see. Thanks for the advice. I'll steer well clear of him. Charles moves away. So I finally discovered who sent me that order sheet. It was Will White. I'd never have guessed he would have been behind it. I mean, he was kind of shady. I mean, he was the only guy we hadn't investigated, so. All I can think about is finding the truth behind what happened 25 years ago. I think I know what I need to do. I think it's time I gathered my thoughts about all that's happened. Okay, it's time for end of chapter quiz time. A lot of shit happened this chapter. Holy shit. Tony came to my room and gave me Rex's notebook. Every time I see Charles, I'm like, oh. Wait, what kind of oh? Is it like, oh? Or like, oh? Written inside was a reference to Condor and a man called Jack Green. It said they had both disappeared in 1967. Rachel kindly looked into the name Jack Green and found out he was a reporter. Jack Green worked as a reporter for a publication called Los Angeles Beat. More the latter, like a neuron activation. I feel that. Every time he comes on screen, it's probably in a different way than you, but I'm just like, he... fancy French man. he's a pretty boy. Rachel discovered that he had unearthed certain truths about Condor and had been murdered before he could unveil it publicly. After returning Sydney's record to him, we had a chat. This led me to want to talk to Mags regarding her late husband. Her husband, who was killed 13 years ago, went by the name of... George! Right, oh my god, that fucking picture. Mags's husband's name was George Patrice. He was the proprietor of several successful eateries around town. Mags went on to explain that he was killed during a robbery that took place 13 years ago. Once Mags and I had concluded our business, Rachel contacted my pager. I got her on the phone, and looked into the photos from the album on the 4th floor. I made the startling discovery of a certain person in one of the photos. That person was... Mags! Oh yeah, next chapter we're probably gonna like interrogate Mags or something. Right. It was none other than Mags I discovered in one of the photos. It was in a photo showing a party dubbed Scarlet Star. In it, she was wearing the necklace she still wears today. She looked a lot younger in that picture. Was that necessary? From a photo and the 8mm film that Charles showed me, we noticed that Will White from room 306 appeared in both. Charles agreed to help me when I decided to go and get a closer look at his room. Thanks to the contents of the safety deposit box and the postcard inside the camera, I was able to discern a certain truth about Will. What was it that I found out? found out that his real name was Will McGrath. Turns out he's the son of the late manager of Hotel Cape West, Michael McGrath. The postcard and passport I uncovered inside his room proved it. After Will returned to his room, I put him on the spot to get some straight answers. He confessed to having been the one behind the mysterious order sheet I received. He went on to explain that the reason he sent it to me was because he was frustrated with me? Oh, I mean, they're kind of both right, but... Right, the reason he sent me the order sheet was because he didn't want his mother's murder to remain unpunished. He also shared a new startling revelation with me about 25 years ago. The person who snuck into Hotel Cape West with the intention of cracking the safe and stealing the Scarlet Star was my dad. I could only stare dumbly at Will when he told me. The truth that Will shared with me didn't reveal everything, but at least another of this building's mysteries has come to light. Why am I so keen on uncovering the truth behind what took place here 25 years ago? Thanks to him, I now have an outline that puts things into better perspective. Now I know for certain, if I search for the Scarlet Star, I'll also find out the truth behind my dad's murder. In addition to those, I've also begun to consider something, that there's even more to this whole mystery than meets the eye. I have to uncover it all. In the end of another chapter. Oh, I'm sleepy. Okay, I think I'm gonna end it here for tonight. We ended up doing our usual streaming amount, and now I'm like super sleepy. Because I was planning on just making this a short stream. A lot has happened. Like, holy shit, I'm trying to like wrap my mind around it. Chris Hyde, a person from the past. The truth of 25 years ago. Yeah, thank y'all for being here. It's always nice to like, you know, hang out with y'all. It's always nice to have little chats with y'all, spend time with y'all, be a little frog with y'all. Thank you for the head pat. Thank you for streaming. It was just the perfect amount. Yeah, like this chapter was just the perfect amount for like the perfect amount of streaming too. It just kind of like happened. Let's see. So let's see who we can raid. Yeah, I'm glad you're here too. I'm glad y'all are here. I remember when you turned upside down as I activated that head pats. Yeah, and then you head patted my nether regions. That was a great moment. I'm glad that we could clip it. It's like a clip somewhere. Okay, so it looks like Koro is streaming. So let's raid them. I don't often get the chance to raid them. And it looks like, oh my god, what is their model? What is this model? What is happening? It looks like this is their last stream before the 1 month hiatus. So let's do that. Let's give them some love. Koro is a great little scrunkly friend. All right, let's raid them. And for the raid messages, here. If you have my emotes, feel free to send that one. Oh, Cabal's on it. Would you be able to send the second one too? The second one is the second set of raid messages is for people who don't have my emotes. Thank you, Cabal. Thank you. So when we get over to Koro's place, let's send a little message, say hi. And then I hope y'all have a great rest of your night. Thank y'all again for spending time with me. Next week is our 500 follower celebration. I'm pretty hyped for it, but also like I can't do hype celebrations, so it's gonna be chill. y'all are gonna be able to like request me to do a quick doodle of stuff, and I'm gonna show y'all a new model that I have. So it'll be nice. It'll be nice next Saturday. Next Saturday. I'll post it in the schedule too. But yeah, I'll see y'all. Have a great night, and thank y'all again. Good night. Bye bye.